with some other things. We got some things going on, folks. We're trying to do a streaming thing. There's gonna be a little bit of kinks, okay? There's gonna be some things we're working out this episode, but we couldn't wait any longer. We had to launch, and that's what we've done. So here's the thing. I'm about to send out a text message. I don't even know if anybody's here. That's a good question to find out. Go back to my old school. All right. Well, I'm going to send out a text message. I'm going to do it, and I don't care what you think. Everybody. The text message is something you send out. You will be able to sign up for it. You want a text message from me? Because, of course, big tech, censorship, shadow banning, all these things make it difficult for you to get the notifications at the whims of the technocrats. But if you text the word canary, it's canary to 877-740-3226. That's 877-740-3226. Get put on our list to receive a text message. Just one text message before every time we go live. It's easy peasy. We don't take any information. So it's worth nothing but your attention. So go ahead, text the word canary to 877-740-3226. And when this timer goes, the show goes. We have no control over it. Hold on to your butts. Let's go.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is January 5th, 2024. We are live to tape on episode 703, and today, Game of Trust. Signing on from Off the Grid, Razzle Dazzle. I'm your best buddy, Basil.
And I'm hoping we're not crazy because my name is Gonz, director of the Age of Deceit films, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ, live to tape from crispy, cold California, California, actually, to bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with the well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. Today's emergent phenomenon: lack of trust of platforms, new platforms. We're streaming on something completely different. We just went for it. I know, we pressed a button, and that's why people in the pre-stream could not hear Basil, because...
Yeah. So we are working out some technical kinks. Here's the thing, folks. Lots of people have complained about the live streams. And when I say complained, I mean it in the sort of noble, honorable sense. Advocating for yourself and your experience on the live stream. And we appreciate that because we want to make it as best as possible. It's 2024. We are committing to improving in all ways that we can. Now, however, know that it is a process. And we are on a new streaming software today, which has lots of good things about it. Has some, maybe not so things we would expect it to have. It doesn't have. So we are sort of hyper distracted, I'd say, doing this show because we are out of our element. It's like when you get your car fixed, and if you got a good sort of mechanic or chain of mechanics or whatever, and they give you a borrower car, they give you a lender car. It's a car you've never seen, car you've never driven. Perhaps it's a Tesla, and now you feel like you're committing some sort of crime and driving a car that you just simply don't understand. That is kind of how we feel on this new streaming software. So forgive any little hiccups and or moments of distraction. We are flying an entirely new ship today.
Well, not entirely new, but definitely some major upgrades. We are
don't
we
listen
have
to Gons.
cyborg software, I would say.
Don't listen to Gons. It is entirely new.
Yeah, it is
everything
entirely new.
about you had to rework your entire hardware for this.
Yeah.
This is not a vaguely different spaceship we're flying.
Yeah,
it's entirely new, different control panel, different feel to the jet propulsion or whatever. We have gone from flying a space shuttle to taking over a UFO, and it's taking a second to get used to it. But we thank you for your patience.
Yep, and I guess we should just go right into a disclaimer and let folks know that, we are not bad people. We're trying to do the best we can.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
The thing.
I'm trying.
It's time for a disclaimer.
Now listen up, YouTube.
That's right. And just for all the content moderators and censorship managers out there, be they robots or humans, everything you hear on this show comes directly from the mainstream corporate news media. We do not claim to be experts on healthcare, geopolitics, military strategy, corporate law, or the moral and ethical implications of any of these topics, nor do we implicitly or explicitly support or subscribe to any sources or narratives containing misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation, as defined by the Department of Homeland Security. We're good boys. All right, YouTube, we're good boys.
All right. Well, I don't know about that. That sounded weird on my end, Gons. Hopefully it sounded okay on the live stream.
Yeah, we'll see. There's things we got to figure out.
We're figuring it out, folks. We're all on this journey together. And so let me give you a rundown.
Oh, look, here's Basil.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Okay, at the top of the show here, we're going to be touching on a few things in case somebody has been frustrated with the amount of, or the lack of amount of coverage on this show about things like the Israeli-Gaza conflict or the Epstein releases. We're going to be tapping onto those topics and I think revealing a couple connections that might give us some insight into the madness of the recent news cycle. Then Gons is going to talk about blockchain or whatever for a second. And then, of course, Flippy's going cute. And then a big update. I think, on this show, it can throw people a little bit off when we don't cover all the biggest, most exciting news topics that everybody else is touching on, but we have a big moment in CRISPR and our food production chains that I have not seen a whole lot of hullabaloo about, and so Guns is going to walk us through that. And then at the end of the show, we've got Well, somebody's obsessed with this card game based on legendary British occultists. So stick around for that. But first, Gons, let's get started with those lead stories.
Whew, okay, I think I got that. That was rough to get all those buttons to be hitted right. Okay, here we go.
Brand new buttons.
World War III.
And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars.
Armageddon's on the way.
Told you he was right. Told you he was right. Oh, are we doing Epstein too? I guess we're doing Epstein.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yes, and also some 5G warfare.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of things.
5th gen warfare.
They're targeting you. They're targeting you.
5th gen warfare. There's a chance that the levels on all of these things are absolutely ludicrous. Stick with us, folks. Okay, so the Epstein documents continuing to be rolled out day by day, giving endless fodder to the online spaces, whether it's podcasts or YouTube shows or Twitter channels or whatever. It's a lot, folks. It's a lot to sift through. And, I kind of need to rectify a mistake that I made last episode. Oh. And that is, I implied that the documents being released were simply the Epstein flight logs. And that is not true. And that is not true. However, there's a couple things about the documents being released that a lot of people haven't spent a whole lot of time explaining. And I've noticed that there's a bit of some misunderstanding for those who are maybe not like fully engaged into diving into the documents themselves. This would be an easy thing to miss because indeed I even missed it. It was sort of happening and I was tracking it sort of on the sidelines peripherally, and even I kind of misunderstood. So the Epstein documents being released are documents from the civil case between Virginia Giuffre and Ghislaine Maxwell. This happened quite some time ago. It was a civil case for, what's it called when you're defamation? That's what it is. It was a defamation lawsuit. And these documents coming out primarily are court documents, not just sort of filed court documents, but they are also depositions, lines of questioning, stuff like this. So when these documents are released, people are going through them very quickly, and you'll see, especially on X, a lot of other shows were doing this, where they will make a list of all the names that appear in the documents. And a mainstream coverage of this usually looks a little something like this from the BBC. Jeffrey Epstein list. Who is named in court filings? The names of dozens of people connected to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein were made public with the release of court documents. Who are they? Public figures, including Prince Andrew and former U.S. President Bill Clinton, are among the associates, friends, and alleged victims. I like how I don't think Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton are among the victims, but okay. Named in the 900 pages unsealed on the order of a judge in New York. Both the former U.S. president and the British royal deny any knowledge of Epstein's crimes. Many names in the documents are mentioned in passing as part of various legal proceedings, and in their inclusion does not suggest wrongdoing related to Epstein. So there's this is the line in the mainstream, which is funny, and a lot of people are making fun of it because it kind of, gives the impression that all the mainstream's trying to protect people, the mainstream's trying to, make or belittle
cover
cover or just belittle the fact that these documents have so many names in it, etc., etc. But this is actually really something to keep in mind for your own sanity and to keep a hold on the reality of the situation. I'm seeing a lot of people online, unfortunately, a lot of, people who are whatever, influencers or podcasters.
Truthers.
The people who are
neo-truthers.
Right. The people who are trusted to take a look at these things and then share it with people. I see a lot of them kind of missing part of this, which is a lot of the names in the documents, there is no guarantee that they are even sort of connected to any sort of wrongdoing. Much like the comment I said last episode, where when it comes to the flight logs, it's not enough to just be on the flight logs. Of course, that makes some sort of connection between whoever and Epstein, but it's known that Epstein was pushy. His whole mission was to get his name connected with as many rich, famous elites.
He cast a wide rich net.
That was his job. And often it would simply, be like, hey, you need to go somewhere? Use my plane. Oh, no, I can buy my own plane. I have no, use mine. Let me do you this favor.
It might even be might have been like a symbol of, or like a status symbol.
Exactly.
Culturally for the, elite or the entertainers or whatever, the politicians.
Well, especially with politicians, because as what a lot of people don't keep in mind all the time is that most politicians are not incredibly rich. They're not bank owners. They're not celebrities. They're not the sort of, 100 millionaires and billionaires that we expect them to be. A lot of politicians are sort of just upper middle class, especially 20 years ago. And to be offered a private plane ride, is kind of a fun thing, seems like a perk of the job. Even if you don't fly out to the island, you're just getting Robert Kennedy got a ride to like his mom's funeral or something.
No, they went family trip, went like fossil hunting or something.
Yeah.
There was a whole story.
Yeah, there's a whole thing. So anyways, whether or not Robert Kennedy is implicated and stuff, I don't know. But the point is you have to actually read the documents. Much like, again, the flight logs. Yeah, Donald Trump's on the flight logs going from New Jersey to Pebble Beach for a golf thing. Doesn't necessarily mean he flew to Epstein's Island or partook in those things.
So this line in the BBC about and their inclusion does not suggest wrongdoing related to Epstein. They're talking about Trump.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Without saying Trump.
They're sort of, and that's the funny part about it is they're sort of unwittingly defending Trump in this because Trump's appearance in these documents is the funniest part, okay? Because, let me give you the next line in the BBC. They contain no major new allegations about Epstein nor revelations about his associates. And this is also a point I agree with every fiber of my being. There's absolutely no information that I have been able to dig up yet. So the whole thing, as I said last time, it's kind of like, we've been paying attention to this Epstein thing since like 2015 or something. So everything that we know now, we also knew back in 2015, back when it was considered conspiracy theory. So there's nothing new. However, for the news media, the mainstream news media, first of all, this was a brilliant tactic when it comes to distracting the alternative media. This is just such a juicy steak for any alternative media outlet to dig into. We're going to be looking at the Epstein client list. Well, it's not the client list, but
keep them busy.
It's keeping every sort of alternative outlet hyper busy looking at these documents, ultimately not saying anything new whatsoever. However, the funniest thing about it for me is we're seeing, whether it be sort of truly independent people or even leftists or Democrats. Oh, sure, Bill Clinton's name pops up in there about 50 times, but Donald Trump is in there too. Donald Trump, he's in the documents. And it's funny because you read the actual document and Donald Trump names shows up a handful of times, and it's literally in a deposition where a lawyer is asking a alleged victim about what was going on. And the lawyer is saying, hey, did you ever see Donald Trump? And the person says, no. No. Okay, well, did Donald Trump ever flirt with you? No. Well, did you ever visit Donald Trump's casinos? No, I was underage. He wouldn't let me in the building. Oh, grubble. So the only times that Donald Trump shows up on at least the current documents, there's more documents to come out, but at least the current documents, the only mention of Trump is repeated evidence that he had nothing to do with anything. So these are reasons to actually sort of read the actual words in the documents. And hopefully if things come up that are relevant, that we haven't already been talking about for 9 years now, then we will bring them onto the show. We'll read the thing. We are very much keeping an eye out for anything new, of which there is nothing. Not even new names. All the names are the exact names that we'd expect. Yeah. Surprisingly, especially to Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Kimmel has not shown up yet. Apparently that's big news for some reason.
Well, it would make sense the same way during the woke revolution. I'm sure some of these influencer types or celebrity types got tipped off something and then they went public with it and then they were torn down for it. Mm-hmm. That could be happening with the whole conservative truther, whatever. People get down the rabbit trail. They have influence. It's very easy to be like, hey, I got some secret info. Jimmy Kimmel's on that list, and who knows? Maybe he is. But the point being, you get it out there, and then you're able to disseminate false information through a celebrity type situation or athlete.
So as usual, this is a blatant and well-executed fifth-generational warfare strategy, okay? Nothing new is in these documents, and yet it is the only thing people can focus on. They are controlling the narrative, and not just in alt media, also in the mainstream. The mainstream is reporting on these documents as well, as is evident by this BBC article. So the question is, why? How does this serve, or how does this serve the elites? How does this serve the establishment?
Who does it benefit?
What is the purpose of this? Who does it, cui bono, who does it benefit? Well, turns out there's some other things happening, and I don't know if this is exactly why, but I thought it was fascinating. Jumping over to the Israeli-Gaza conflict real quick. Mm-hmm. This is coming from The Guardian. The headline is, Islamic State claims responsibility for Iran bombings that killed at least 84. Islamic State, that's ISIS, by the way, has claimed responsibility for Wednesday's attack on a crowd in southern Iran, making the anniversary of the death of a senior Revolutionary Guards commander, Qasem Soleimani, who I believe is who Trump killed in his time. At least personally, Trump went over there, put on his fatigues.
They love killing.
He performed a halo jump, high altitude, parachuting down, got him. At least 84 people died when 2 blasts ripped through the crowd near Soleimani's tomb in the city of Kerman, 4 years after he was killed by a U.S. drone strike in Baghdad. Soleimani had been a staunch enemy of IS. See, they are trying their very hardest not to say ISIS. However, it is reported so in other outlets, which resents the damage he did to its cause in Iraq and Syria. Early on Thursday, Iran had said it was bolstering security along its borders, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, ISIS bombed Iran. And the connection with Soleimani is very interesting because that is, as it says here, was killed in a drone strike by the U.S. It was a very big deal, and Iran was not very happy about it. Now, how does this fit into everything? And why would we care about ISIS bombing Iran? Well, if you've been following along, which probably with no help from us in this regard, so we apologize for that. But we are dealing with Hezbollah and the Houthis. These are two factions, paramilitary factions, in Iran and around Iran, supported by Iran. They are Iran proxies. And these Iran proxies have been bringing the global supply chain to a halt. And here's the thing, folks. They are, robbing ships. They're stopping the shipping lanes. They're clogging things up. This is a big deal. And it's not just a national security issue. You are messing with capitalism. You are messing with globalist, elite, capitalist monsters and their lifeblood of their wealth and their power. And when you do that, it is not going to go unresponded to. Various militaries have sent boats into the area, but nobody really wants to make a big deal about it because, if an Iranian proxy blew up a American ship, that's war, and that's one-on-one war. We would go straight to war with Iran if that happened. Obama and Biden, they've had a strategy of appeasement to Iran. That's been their whole thing. Not to show strength to Iran, but to appease them, to keep them sort of sedated, has been the left or the Obama-Biden strategy for a very long time. Indeed, Iran, Hezbollah, the Houthis, they have made attacks on U.S. military installations, but we've sort of ignored it, trying to slough it off, trying not to make a big deal about it, because we don't want to be forced to go one-on-one with Iran, which of course wouldn't be one-on-one, it would be World War III in another form, because with Iran, you get China and you get Russia. So in an attempt to stall World War III, the U.S. had to do something. Iran could not go unpunished for their dealings in halting the global trade of whatever's on those ships. No, they could not go unpunished. So, in steps ISIS. And a lot of the younger folks, they might remember ISIS as being our enemy, the enemy of America. During, the Obama administration, ISIS was
post 9/11.
Post 9/11.
Chaos. Yeah.
Kind of in the later years of post 9/11, but still. And of course, even if you are younger and you've done your research, you know that the U.S. created ISIS. Much like the U.S. created Al-Qaeda, much like we create and empower all sorts of paramilitary overseas for our own bidding, mostly to destabilize the Middle East so we can come in, bring stability, and take the oil. But it's our way of sort of punishing other countries without actually doing it ourselves. And ISIS is one of these. Very well known that the CIA is who basically created or equipped or empowered ISIS. And then, of course, these dogs, well, I don't want to say that. I want to say these, it's like the CIA.
Careful.
Well, I was going to say, like the CIA, it's like you train a dog to fight, and then the dog turns on you.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Not trying to call anybody dogs. That's what happens. These paramilitary groups, they turn on the U.S. because, of course, the U.S., when we're done with them, we ignore them or worse, destroy them. But this is ISIS. ISIS, you could consider an American proxy. Sure, we had some run-ins, we had some disagreements, but look, when we need Iran attacked, we got ISIS. So really what we're seeing here is a proxy war just beginning, much like how Ukraine is really a proxy war between the U.S. and Russia. Nobody denies that anymore. Even the mainstream admits this is the case. Well, let's just do the same thing with Iran. They cannot go unpunished, but we cannot get involved ourselves. So let's get our old friend ISIS back in the mix. And so this is worth distracting from. They've already taken the energy, spent the energy to separate ourselves from attacking Iran this far by getting a formerly defunct proxy of ours to
pull a pretty big and meaningful attack, especially because it was at this Soleimani guy's tomb, the guy we killed. And I think what we have here is sort of the first volleys of a proxy war with Iran, which is a big deal because now we have proxy wars with our three biggest enemies, Russia, or at least from the establishment's point of view. We have a proxy war with Russia. Got them. We got a proxy war with Iran. Yeah, we got it going now. Cool. And then, of course, what's next is China. And when you got wars with all three of those global powers, that is officially World War III. It would be very hard to make a case that that is not World War III.
Yeah, and the U.S. using its cybernetic proxies to make it all happen.
Yeah, and it's all money. It's all taxpayer dollars.
Yeah,
we're
great.
dropping off pallets of cash like we did with Afghanistan and the warlords. It's just how we do things.
Yeah, and just to tie this whole segment up, or at least just the talk about the conversation, tying it back with Epstein, there is sort of I suppose, a useful line of thinking for the idea of, raising awareness or the awakening. There's all, people talk about that all the time. It's sort of the alt view on things. But so after this whole thing happened with the I think it was the senior official being killed, the Hamas official being killed. This is from pbs.org. Israel's Mossad chief vows to hunt down Hamas members a day after senior official killed in strike. So there's Mossad chief, painting him in a high moral light. He's going to go after the guys, or the bad guys, Hamas, which is interesting along with the Epstein stuff, the fervor going on, because this is dailymail.co.uk. The headline is a sentence. Epstein list reignites suspicion the pedo-financier was working with Mossad and blackmailing the elite with help of information he gleaned from useful idiot Prince Andrew after meeting Israeli PM Ehud Barak at least 36 times. I don't know why it's not 33. We're ending the 33 era. It's 36. We just got to 34 trillion in debt. We have spent $1 trillion more in debt in like 4 months, Basil. Can you believe it? It's crazy.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
The rate at which that is happening is truly impressive.
Right. Okay, so there seems to be some, again, rumblings about this idea of Mossad and Israel, at least historically, their connections with Epstein. People who have been talking about or looking at the Epstein thing for years already know where Ghislaine Maxwell's father comes from and things like that. It's all tied with Mossad. So it's no surprise, but it's just interesting how maybe we learn more about this. Maybe the general public becomes more aware of this particular narrative. And that's a good way to try to separate, who believes what. When it comes to, do you support this whole Israel mission with Mossad and all this, or are you talking about it in the context of, they're the part of the problem. They were part of the problem when it comes to the Epstein situation. So, just something interesting to keep in mind. Anything else on that? Because I do want to blast through this thing, this this whole situation we find ourselves in.
By now, your name and particulars have been fed into every laptop, desktop, mainframe, and supermarket scanner that collectively make up the global information conspiracy, otherwise known as the Beast.
Speaking of the Beast system, Beast system.
All right, so, it's the beginning of the year, which means Davos. Every year there's Davos. People like us cover it. We've been talking about all the elite getting together and talking about the future and how to shape the world and all this kind of stuff. And with the rise of Elon to a new stratosphere of popularity in the last year, it's interesting where the World Economic Forum is taking things. So this is straight from the worldeconomicforum.org. And the headline here, Driving Trust, Paving the Road for Autonomous Vehicles. Sounds good, So let me just read some of the bullet points here. We need to rebuild trust in autonomous vehicles. This includes public acceptance and trust between public and private sectors. And if you've been around, you know about public-private partnerships. The late Joan Vion is who I learned it from. She was a Christian. She was on YouTube in like 2008, 2007, calling out private or public-private partnerships, PPP, as a way that, the nation state is ending, so to speak, and, corporatocracy taking over. To realize the safety benefits that the technology promises, strong global collaboration is necessary. And the first line here, rebuilding trust, is the theme of the 2024 annual meeting in Davos.
Oh.
Aren't you glad we're rebuilding trust? We must rebuild the trust.
These guys are obsessed with this. I mean, as they should, but they are obsessed. I think it was last year's Davos where we got, maybe a couple of years ago, where we got all those great sound clips from the stage at Davos about how nobody trusts us anymore.
Yeah, no. This was
we're losing control.
I think that was last year. There was last year was cooperation in a fragmented world. The year before that was history at a turning point, government policies and business strategies. The year before that was COVID. And then the year before that was stakeholders for a cohesive, sustainable world. And it goes on here. But yeah, last year was the first time we noticed that their whole thing was like, yeah, we gotta get some trust back from the public because it's not working out too well, the way things are going. So basically, this let me go back to the World Economic Forum here. Trust is hard to earn and easy to lose. Andrea Kahl-Morgan, CEO of Simulytic, a Siemens AG venture. Trust is hard to earn and easy to lose has never been truer than for automated vehicle technology. To earn the trust of the general population, continuous and targeted engagement with all stakeholders is paramount. For that, we need to have language because stakeholders are the influencers. They're the ones, disseminating how cool this tech is. For that, we need to have language and messaging that speaks transparently. Remember I talked about transparency is going to become a trend? Here we are. I called that
not even a
couple
trend.
Years ago.
It's more than a trend.
It's a thing.
It's a moral sort of virtue.
Soapbox. Yeah, the virtue.
Yeah, for the propagandists.
Yeah, for that we need to have language and messaging that speaks transparently to this audience and steers clear of industry jargon. Collaboration signals transparency and trust among those developing AVs for roads, vehicles, heavy industry, etc. This inherently reduces threats and unknowns of highly complex technology. So there you go. The future we want to build cannot be achieved without collaboration and transparency. A lot of transparency. So yeah, I thought it was interesting that this was the theme going into Davos. And then I found this on CoinTelegraph.com. That's a crypto site, but they're a news outlet, and a lot of people are skeptical about the sourcing of CoinTelegraph. Seems to be sort of a mouthpiece of the establishment, so to speak. They had a headline here. Yeswetrust, all one word. Yeswetrust announces Trust in Tech Day during World Economic Forum, Davos, Switzerland. Woo! Trust in Tech Day.
Wow.
And the article here, Zurich, Switzerland, Yeswetrust is hosting a 5-day event called The House of Trust in Davos, Switzerland during the World Economic Forum between January 14th and the 19th. I'm going to talk about the importance of trust in tech, including Web3 and AI. They have all these people lined up. They have a panel of speakers on the impact of the tokenization of real-world assets, unlocking a new era of ownership, trading, and investment. Are you ready for this, Basil?
Tokenization. This has to do with the carbon stuff.
Carbon
too.
tax. Yeah. There's already crypto projects doing the whole carbon thing. Yeah. So I took a look at this website. Okay. I went to Yeswetrust.com and you go there and it's very, do you remember the joke about from he's a man who passed away. He had a very famous line about how it's a big bleeping club and you're not in it. There was a comedian. George Carlin. So think of that as a setup here. Yeswetrust. Join the most impactful members club of humanity.
Oh my gosh.
Why do they always have this language? Why is it always like that?
Because they love it. They want to bring
It's so weird.
That's the whole appeal. They want to gather together the people who want to be special, who want to be in a secret club. You know why? Because we have a name for those people, and they're elitists. This is literally elite bait that they're putting out. They're trawling for elites.
Listen to how they outline. Begin your own hero's journey. So they're already referencing, How do you start the journey?
Some James
download the app.
Joseph Campbell,
that's right. Download the app. First step, okay? Join the community.
That's always the first step.
Experience the ecosystem. Unlock the benefits. Yeah, you want to be part of the community of elite, you have to download the app first. And then feel more alive. Feel more alive from the app. You create positive habits. You monitor your water consumption. Okay? Meditation and breathing exercises, sports and yoga. Build the life of your dreams with affirmations. Follow your personal journey. Okay? Yeah, surveil yourself. That's basically what you're being pushed into here. Find your purpose. Who are the target?
This is a cult.
Sounds like they're targeting broken people. This is what it sounds like.
This is a cult. They are starting a cult. This sounds like every cult, every self-help cult that started, in LA. People are trying to make it big. They're trying to become better people. This is how Scientology brings people in. This is how Nexium brought people in. It's all about becoming your best self. This is literally a cult.
Find your purpose, join educational programs, explore tailored journeys. What? Tailored journeys? What are these, like techno-Calvinists? Very weird. Get inspired from community, achieve financial freedom. Hey, you get to do all this stuff and you get to be rich. What do you think? And here are the perks, the bullet points under achieve financial freedom. Get funded. All right, great.
Yes, we'll make your worlds come true. You'll get all the money. This is what Scientology promises too.
Earn for living a healthy lifestyle. Okay.
For being a good person. Get paid to be a good person.
I think it's all based on biometric stuff with the app, and you walk in 10,000 steps. Oh, we'll give you some coin. We'll give you some Yeswetrust coin. Content creation. Hello, they're trying to get people to create content.
They're trying to make disciples, make
it's
evangelists. It is literally Scientology. What are we talking about here?
It's weird. That's why I was like, hey, okay, this is what they're bringing into the World Economic Forum for the Day of Trust or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Bring your vision alive, yada yada.
So will you remind me? This is not created by the World Economic Forum.
No. So this is a group called Yeswetrust that is being featured to run a Trust in Tech Day at Davos. So they're brought in as sort of they're a Swiss tech company is what they are. And they were brought in to sort of facilitate this conversation.
Is this a .com or a .org? Yeswetrust.
Yeswetrust.com. Yeah. Create impact. I would be curious. The CEO here and founder, Stefan Kanalga. Who knows? This might be a fake person. You never know with this kind of stuff anymore. His quote here: "It's our time to create generational change that has a lasting positive impact for the entire human race." Oh, I forgot that I'm not showing that. So, okay, sorry. The new screen sharing thing is different on the stream there. So sorry if I'm talking about something and not showing the thing that I'm talking about. That's a mistake on my part.
That's
but those,
okay. We're making it work. So what's really strange? Every page on yeswetrust.com for me says coming soon. So
you know what?
Something did.
Yeah, maybe there was a. I did look at some stuff. The ecosystem. Trust Point is what I wanted to find out more about, but then I got the coming soon. So they don't have anything together yet.
No,
you know?
that's good. It's exclusivity. It's mystery. It's coming soon. Stay engaged. The thing that I saw was the ecosystem. When you're on the search page, it just you get a little blurb. Ecosystem. Yeswetrust allocates 20% of membership fees to charity. So you have to pay a membership fee.
Yeah. So that one of the things it said on their website was that 10% of what your membership fee or whatever goes to charity, 10% goes to something else, and then whatever 80% goes to them.
Yeah,
because they're helping you find your best life. You see, it's part of the whole process.
It is absolutely insane.
It's insane, right? Okay, I'm not crazy.
If there was ever a reason at all to trust the World Economic Forum at all, which, by the way, there's not. But if somebody was not already totally aware that we should not be trusting the WEF, the people who are obsessed with getting you to trust them. It's all they talk about every year is how do we get people to trust us? I know what we'll do. We will support a literal cult that uses the exact same language as all those NXIVM, Scientology, every sort of secular cult that started in the 20th century. We'll use the exact same idea, but we'll make it all techie. People like tech people. The Silicon Valley, what's they called? What is effective altruism? Yeah, they're all gonna be about polyamory. It's gonna be a whole thing. How to effectively scam millions of people out of billions of dollars, but do it for the good of humanity.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. It says a lot about what kind of people the World Economic Forum want to put out the trust in the technology message, which, again, if you're not aware, Bitcoin is a trustless system.
Right.
It's built on the whole idea.
That's the point.
The whole idea being that, to really make it very rudimentary. It's kind of like the internet where somebody can say something, but then the community is like, no, that's not true.
Right.
The community, it's similar in that somebody tries to do a transaction, the whole network of the people that are running the network have to agree with it computationally, and then, that transaction becomes official.
No trust needed.
No trust needed. It's a whole group that's verifying and auditing the ledger. So that's kind of the idea. The World Economic Forum doesn't have to come in and trust us, trust the tech that we're putting in your face. That's really deceptive because the tech that they're trying to shove in everyone's faces is not trustless. It's very highly centralized and highly manipulative.
Yeah,
you can tell.
They need your trust. That's why they're begging for your trust.
Making
you pay for a membership so you're invested, promising you the life of your dreams. You'll accomplish all your goals. You'll get the money you need, and you'll save the earth all at the same time. Just pay your membership dues and do whatever Klaus Schwab tells you to do. It's really unbelievable. I mean, the fact that the World Economic Forum has sort of stooped to basically becoming I want to know what I want to know what WEF got paid for this. Like, this is obviously they're getting incentivized to try to encourage people to join this cult, and I'm just very curious to know the details of that.
Yeah, we will keep an eye on Yeswetrust because we definitely do not trust them.
Unbelievable.
All right.
Okay. Well, Gons, it is Friday, and man, oh man, does it feel like it.
Keep playing with the Friday thing. You gonna learn today. Cause it's Friday. You ain't got no job. And you ain't got shit. Are you not entertained? It's Friday. It's
Friday. We'll figure out the quality of those jingles, folks. There's things going on that we couldn't possibly try to explain.
People are saying Friday. It sounds okay out there, though, so that's all that really matters. We'll find out.
I'll have to check. I'll check the stream afterwards. Okay, it's Friday. We're doing it. Gons, do you have anything to mention before we keep rolling. We're a
thought
little
I
bit
put-
short on time today,
We are.
folks. So.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're good. We're
Okay. I do have one thing. I got an email from producer Amanda.
Okay.
Producer Amanda says, "Hi, guys. Could I request prayers for a family and kids involved in a shooting here in West Virginia? The mother passed from being shot, and now there are 3 children who are orphaned. It is time to call on the producers."
Producers, assemble!
Yes, producers around the world, you're people who listen to the show, and you produce the show spiritually with your prayers. You pray for the show, for the producers of the show, for us, everything, and for the gremlins who are crawling around in our technology. But today, producers, listen up. Put this on your list. I was not given details, not given names, not given details on the event, but just know that there are 3 children now in West Virginia without a mother involved in a shooting. And boy, oh boy, that is just a world. That's 3 worlds coming crashing down, and it's tragic. And so only the Lord can intervene in a situation like this. Pray that, of course, there are people around these children who come together and really show how good the Lord can be and how good people can be when they're called upon to do so, and to care for and comfort these children. It's very, very tragic. Thank you, producer Amanda, for bringing it to our attention, and we will keep that on our prayer list here.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry to hear about that. Yeah, we'll keep our prayers for those kids and the community. That anytime stuff like that happens, which is happening way more frequently than it should be. So
yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
I real quick want to mention the meetups.
Meetups.
Got a big update.
Canary Crime Meetup.
Yes, folks, you can go to canarycrimemeetups.com. You can see all the meetups that are going on around the world. We really only have one planned right now. Remember, this is not Gons and I planning this. This is you, dear producer. Surely there are hundreds of people out there who have been to these meetups because other producers put them on. And it's just a good way to make connections with real people who are on the same page as you. If they're in your community, it's good to have a group of people who are on the level in case things get a little squiggly wherever you are or in the world as a whole. The next meetup is January 9th. That's next Tuesday. Tuesday, January 9th, Canary Crime, Missouri meetup. Thank you to Sir Dove for creating this art, this flyer for the Canary Crime, Missouri meetup. There's a couple of details that are important to know. Of course, Tuesday, January 9th, 4 p.m. at Ari's Pizza, downtown Jefferson City. Let's see here. For morning details and for Knock and Shock, contact canarycrysupply@gmail.com. That's right. This is Sir Ike putting this on. And so Sir Ike is the one to contact. His email is canarycrysupply@gmail.com. So get in touch if you are in the Missouri area. I know we have a lot of Missouri Canarians. And so especially if you listen to the Missouri Freedom Initiative episode with Patrick Holland, you learned how Missouri is sort of the pinnacle of local politics, action, regular people getting involved, creating what I am convinced is now the most free state in the Union. I'm very impressed and jealous by Canarians who live in Missouri. It is certainly on my list of places to go if things need to move. But this knock and shock idea, this was given to us by Patrick Holland, the Missouri Freedom Initiative, where you just literally get concerned citizens together and you walk in and you knock on the doors of your representatives and you tell them how you feel. It has been very effective in Missouri to getting local politics, on the level with how the people want their state to be run. It's incredible. And so Sir Ike he is what is the word? Organizing a knock and shock it's Canary Crime Meetup as well. So you're going to meet at the pizza restaurant at 4 p.m. You will talk, meet, do the whole thing. Then the knock and shock will happen later on. There is a warning on this flyer, which is no Jan 6ing on January 9th. I was told that there's a very, I think we have a speak pipe. I don't know if you have that ready, but I was told it's very important that people know that this is not a protest. You are not protesting anything. This is not, we don't want anybody getting all fired up, making signs, this is not a protest, okay? This is a proven technique to get representatives to listen to the people. It's called a knock and shock. It's very polite. It's very orderly. It's good. It's not a riot or a protest or anything. So if you are a particularly passionate person looking for a place to yell and scream and knock something over, this is not for you. This is for responsible Missouri citizens. No Jan 6ing on Jan 9th. And then, of course, we have Dove's, the QAnon Canary shaman, with his horns and stuff, and a circle and a line.
Don't try to hide it. It's Basil. It's Basil in shaman gear trying to take over the country. I have Sir Ike's message here. Should I just play it?
Might as well play it, yeah.
Let's do it.
Hey, Canary family, Sir Ike here. I have a couple quick announcements to make. Number one, if you are a supply dropper overseas, check your email if you have not received your package yet. There's a message in there for me. We've had some issues with shipping that the email will address. Secondly, about the Missouri meetup coming up Tuesday. In the morning portion, if you want to get details on where to meet up, contact me directly at canarychristsupply@gmail.com. There's some flexibility with where and when we will meet. Also, I want you to remember that when we're at the Capitol, just remember that we are there to peaceably assemble and to peaceably petition our government for redress of grievance. Those things we have rights to. We do not have rights to riot or protest. So just remember that we are there not to do anything other than to peaceably go and advocate for fair and equal and just laws in our state. I hate to say that, but in the way things are, just remember we are members of citizens of the kingdom of heaven before we are citizens of the kingdoms of earth, and we need to act in a righteous manner while we're there. Also, about 4:30, we will be going over to Eris's Pizza, downtown Jeff City, and having supper there. That's open to everybody there. Just 4:00. If anybody wants to show up, can meet there. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, so there you go. Yes, if you want to participate in the event, the knock and shock, get in touch with Ike directly. I guess that will be happening before the pizza restaurant. But if you just want to go eat pizza, that's a great place to do it too.
Cool.
So there you go, Missouri. I'm looking at you guys. Show up. Let's do this. I want to. Well done. Okay, that's that. And real quick, I want to run through and thank some producers and do the show.
Executive producers.
That's right. We're on the value for value model, which means we don't take any money from corporations, commies, or cartels. Nope. We are truly independent. We do not rely on corporations to reward us for gaining your attention. If you get value from the show or the community or anything, you are invited into the paradigm shift of value for value, which means we as individuals are responsible for keeping things alive that we want to live. The executive producers, you can produce with your time, your talent, and your treasure, by the way. It's not all about money. You can get involved, or you can use your creative talents to help out the show. Lots do, and it's incredible. But those who support the show for $100 or more, we call them executive producers. And I want to thank a couple right now.
Okay.
We got executive producer. Can you guess? Yes, you can. Sir LX Protocol V2 Night of the Breen Protocol. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I got Mukes-mited.
Oh, cool.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Mike's muted.
$100.
We'll
tech,
make it, folks. We'll make it, folks.
$100.33. 46 episode executive producer streak, 250 altogether.
Illuminatus!
Executive streak.
Oh yeah, streakalicious. Incredible. The Lord is blessing you, Sir Alex Protocol, and we pray that he continues to. We have another executive producer.
Hold on.
Where'd you find this?
There we go.
We have another one, and I think this executive producer. He's, I don't know if he's going for some sort of streak, but he has committed to executive producing, and it's really incredible, and we thank him. This is executive producer Jamie G.
Jamie G, thank you very much.
Jamie
Appreciate
G
it.
coming in for $122.66.
Ooh, I don't even know what to do with that.
I don't know. But it's a fun number. Thank you very much, executive producer Jamie G. He sent the note, but it was just for you and I, Gons. So it's our little secret.
A secret note. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jamie G.
Where'd you find this?
Yep. As far as we are now in January, Gons, which means we are not in the thrall of the holidays. The January or the December bump is over. We are now in the January schlump. But this is what happens, folks, and that's why we are prepared. Not a whole lot of producership today. We got a couple people who came in under the executive producer amount, and we'll thank them real quick.
Okay.
We got producer Stouffer.
Thank you.
This is Santa Wears Brown in the chat. Comes in with a nice round number and a note that reads, "Hey boys, had the thought that of you still." I'm thinking, if you still have kinks to work out for Monday with the new streaming platform, may I suggest you do a live stream where you just run tests on everything, let us listen in on some classic Basil and Gons bickering over how technology works and who is the person causing the problems. Yeah, that is exactly how this goes. Yeah. And throw in a flippy update or something, I can promise with the confidence of Basil promising. It's so nice to feel seen by somebody. And I really feel seen by Stouffer here. I can promise with the confidence of Basil promising that there will be a show on January 1st, that there will be a mess of financial producers unlike you have ever seen before. Haha. Thanks for everything, fellas. Well, there's an idea. I mean, that's an idea, Gons. Often switching technology like this causes us to miss shows or start late or something. It's very infuriating. But just streaming that and working through it, I mean, Stouffer is pretty confident that could help us out with our producer problem.
It could. Yeah.
Well, think about it. I mean, we are tired and we are done of not streaming because we're stuck in a tech problem. So that might just be the thing from now on. If we are getting stuck in a tech problem and putting off,
go live.
Just go live and work it out.
Work it out. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like that.
He ends with,
no matter what, we have a window of time we go live, and if we can do a show, great.
See why we don't go live. What happens? We're not just sitting back eating popcorn, taking naps when we don't go live.
Right.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have next up we have producer Sir Marty K. Now to the wrong timeline comes in for 3333.
Thank you, Sir Marty K.
And he sent a note in which he is asking, he says, "Hey fellas, I'm lurking in chat right now. Is it okay with you that I share this link in the chat? I promise you it's important. It is the website for the role-playing game for the cyber attack epidemic." Okay, just opening the link real quick. That's a fun way to get our attention. Thank you very much, Sir Marty K. Yeah, go ahead and share it. It looks interesting. I got it open now. We'll take a look at that.
Yep, sounds good.
Oh, it's EarthX 2024. Yes, it's the new kind of like Event 201 before COVID, the event to plan out COVID before COVID.
Yeah.
This is EarthX January 11th. And it's they're doing a tabletop for a cyber attack or an EMP or something. Okay, I don't know who's doing this, but we'll learn more. Thank you very much. Go ahead and post that link, Sir Marty.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, that's it. Just those two. producing in that column. Thank you very much to both of our producers.
Yeah, thank you.
And one last thing, we got just our list of people who come under $7.77, which entitles them to a thank you, but not a note. So starting out, producer Doctor Who Done Dat, 41 episode streak.
Thank you, Doctor Who Done Dat.
Mrs. Tinfoil Hatman is back, 2 episode streak.
Thank you.
Sir Moore of Night of the Burning Chariots, 316 in a row.
Thank you.
Veronica D, 345 in a row.
Veronica D, thank you.
Dame Gale, 339 in a row.
Thank you, Dame Gale.
Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, 370 in a row.
Thank you, Sir Scott.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
385 in a row. Thank you to everybody.
Oh yeah, Streakalicious.
Thank you for producing the show. We could not do the show without you. It is value for value. When we stop producing value that brings value to your life, we will die because people will then not produce the show. It's a simple system. It's a biblical system. It's a system that just makes sense. But it does require people accept the invite to take responsibility for their own media preferences. And we thank you, everybody, who makes that choice for us. Again, you can produce with your time, your talent, or your treasure. Just head on over to canarycry.support to learn more.
Canarycry.support.
Back to the show, Flippy.
Flippy. Why am I mumbling like that? That's so weird.
I don't know. It's cool.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world and how there's nothing we can do about it. Today's Flippy update is coming from Inverse.com, and the headline is LG's cute AI robot is a two-wheeled smart home butler and DJ.
Woo!
Whoa.
Wicca.
Yeah, we got this cute little guy. He looks like a little pill with googly eyes,
Googly
of
eyes.
course.
Yep.
Big robotic googly eyes. There, I see you. I see you. I know I will never get the accolades for being so influential in the robotic space, but they continue to give a little hat tip to their best buddy Basil. It goes like this. There are lots of smart home hubs nowadays, but very few of them are on wheels. If that's a problem for you, LG is here to answer your prayers. Whoa.
Woo!
Now,
who's praying for that?
it might just sound like a funny, cute little quip to market this robot, folks, but as you've seen, if you've been paying attention to the Flippy update, they are serious. These the spirituality of robots has weaseled its way into big conversations with big spiritual groups. The robots are considered a bit more spiritual than us. This is not a joke. This is mainstream reported. They are considered our saving grace, our salvation from ourselves. And now you can pray to LG, who has answered your prayers. And again,
LG?
Lucifer goat. See? You know, it's a fun little quip, and even the writer of this might think that they didn't mean anything by it, but that is evidence of the propaganda influence campaign we've been following for years. LG's smart home AI agent is a two-wheeled robot that can roll around your house as a robot butler, DJ, babysitter, whatever else you need it to be. LG hasn't officially named its derpy smart home hub on wheels, but that just means the naming rights are all yours, should you choose to buy it.
Giving you ownership, giving you the perception of ownership.
That's true. It does invest you even more into this little spy running around your house that your children have access to. This is something I don't think people are understanding. This is a child's toy. It's cute. The headline image is a young boy holding a teddy bear, hanging out with his best robot buddy, who is a smart home assistant. This is Alexa on wheels with a cute face. It can babysit your child. You really want to give your child access to your smart home
You wonder why it's been so hard for us to find like a legit, trustworthy babysitter. It's because the whole industry is moving towards the home robot. So to actually find real people, man, they're getting more expensive.
You don't need it. It's robots. We just got to get robots. The babysitting robot is here. It's so bizarre. What do you mean this robot can babysit my child? That is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. LG says it threw a Qualcomm Robotics RB5 platform into its two-wheeled robot, meaning it can handle facial recognition. All right, cool. Little cute robot reading everybody's faces. This way, it'll know who's entering your house, can read your facial expressions and your voice to see what mood you're in. After that, it'll queue up a corresponding song or podcast to set the mood as you settle in, as it live streams all your information to the NSA.
I was going to say, how do we become the product that gets delivered? The podcast that gets delivered upon, the moods of certain people.
Yeah, to get this little robot to play our podcast. Hey, it looks like you're. Hey there! It looks like you're getting worried about the mainstream news and what they're telling you. Well, do I have something for you? Yeah, that's a good idea. Beyond that, the robot will give you transportation info, weather updates. You get it. It's an Alexa on wheels who can babysit your child. We have truly begun the next phase of the robot apocalypse, Guns. And that's really all there is to say about that.
There's no way that the designer of this thing did not see you. I mean, it's got headphones on.
They all do.
It's got headphones.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. For those who are listening, it's a little pill. It has googly eyes and is wearing headphones. Look at me. Look at him. Look at me. Look at him. Look at me. Look at him. See? You get the point. Nobody could convince me that my work over the past 10 years has gone in vain, because it is obvious. Nobody has given as much personal quality attention to the robotics industry as I have. They are saying hello to me and all the Canarians, and we are saying hello back. We've got our eyes on you. And if you could please produce the show, please. See, here's the thing, folks. See, this is a good example. We could be taking money from LG and these robot companies and not even tell anybody, and just, live a deceptive life that we ultimately regret when we're on our deathbeds. But we don't. We only exist for the V for V model, or because of it. And the robot people, they know. They're just getting a bunch of free marketing.
This guy seems to know what he's talking about. He's ahead of the curve, and he's a talking googly-eyed robot man. Might as well.
The amount of winks and nods that they have given me in this past even this past year, has been insane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Chris Shilzilla is a part of it or something.
Did you see Chris Shilzilla's post on X? 2023 was the hardest year of my life.
Yeah, I didn't read it, but I did see
it. Felt bad for him. I wanted him to have a better year. So
yeah, I think he wrote something on his his
Medium or something. Yeah,
whatever it's called.
Substack. Yeah.
All right, Gons, take us away. Give us your stuff.
Okay, we might only have time to go through this, and then, just to let people know, starting next week, there is a actual in-home nanny situation.
Change.
Everything will change. We'll have more time. Things, Canary Cry Radio will kick back up again. It's a new era, so
we got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on, and we also need help. So if you want to get involved, this is our year. This is what we are built for, Canarians. Not just Gons and I, but this is what you've been built for. You've been prepared for this year. It is your purpose. And if you want to get involved in what we need more people. People is one of our biggest sort of needs right now. If you want to get involved, become a part of the team, actively work towards what's going on. Go to canarycry.support, scroll all the way down. You'll see a form. Fill out that form. We got a place for you. We are just moments away from having a sort of Canary Cry HR department too.
the way we run it, anyone would come in and look at it and go, wow, you guys need help.
The reason why we have not accomplished our dreams is because of basically ourselves not being able to
there's no
handle.
excuse. There's no excuse. It's literally just our own doing or undoing. Okay, let's do this.
CRISPR. Cas9.
I'm hungry. Yeah, we're going to talk CRISPR and food. Why not? This is coming from Food Navigator Europe. Cool. And the headline here is CRISPR launch aims to future-proof agri-food production. Agri-food, okay.
Future-proof, because that's the thing, Food can't handle the future. Plants? Are you kidding me?
Well, we've been saying this actually validates something we've been screaming about for years. It's another called it type of moment, but let's see what it says here. A new agri-food technique called CRISPR technology hones in on food security and sustainability through genetic modification. CRISPR technology newly launched in the food industry. Hey, welcome to the party. CRISPR seeks to enable precise and targeted genetic modifications in crops. The gene editing technique offers a solution to shape how the food and agricultural sector produces agri-food, as the principles behind CRISPR can offer a way to ensure food security and sustainability. Food and beverage consultancy Forward Fooding relayed. Yay, Forward Fooding. Good name. Unlike traditional breeding methods, which can take years to produce desired traits, CRISPR has been designed to produce crops with specific characteristics in months. Great. Quote, it can be used to create crops that are more sustainable, nutritious, and resilient to environmental stress. Max Lavelle, co-founder and chief operating officer of Forward Fooding, told Food Navigator. Yes, sir. What are you looking for, bud? Yeah.
Daddy. He knows there's a babysitter coming in to sabotage his attempts to sabotage us.
Yeah.
He's trying to stop it before it's too late.
At the center of using CRISPR technique is the pursuit to make our global food system more resilient. Climate change! And of course, climate change is the big thing here. Climate change, global population, and ongoing calls for novel new product development. NPD, Basil. Did you know about new product development, NPDs? We got to get on that NPDs, man.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. Are leading concerns and efforts driving its use. So this is, again, climate change, global overpopulation, the two things that are the reason why we need to start genetically modifying all of our food with CRISPR. Utilizing CRISPR gene editing provides the potential to fortify crops. And they keep mentioning fortitude, this idea of creating a fortress that is able to withstand climate change. Using CRISPR, global agri-food systems can improve crops' resistance to persistent harsh weather, so we can ensure crop yield despite the climate crisis. CRISPR is tipped to help the globe secure the future of food accessibility and overcome malnutrition, as the technology can fortify the nutrient profile of plants. Such fortification enables these plants to increase the production of certain vitamins, zinc, iron, and other essential nutrients. So there you go, more fortifying.
Growing Soylent.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
don't need to make Soylent, you just got to grow it now.
Right. Answering specific consumer demands is a leading requirement for CRISPR technology. For example, some varieties of tomatoes have been bred to look physically appealing to buyers and withstand long transport, but lose most of their taste in transit. On the other hand, there are heirloom tomato varieties that don't look as good, that's subjective, but make up for their sweet taste. CRISPR has the potential to modify these products as negative characteristics to make both varieties appetizing to consumers. Oh, yeah, that's I want people to think about, Daddy. I want people to think about how this is shaping, the food is sort of the guinea pig of humans. What they're doing to the food and the reasons behind it will be the same reasons they want to genetically modify us.
Right. Yeah, and they will do it through that. I mean, we already know that they can put mRNA vaccines into spinach and stuff.
Right.
They don't need your permission to turn you into what benefits them most.
Yeah. CRISPR's applications also highlight how the technology, quote, highlight how the technology can help fight food loss and waste, said Laveau, detailing how 10 million pounds of quote unquote ugly produce end up in landfills. And yeah, that's all that waste. It's like Back to the Future. You can use it to fuel a time machine or something. Potential in agri-food in 2024. There's a quote here. Recently, the EU has amended its directive on gene-edited products, proposing more relaxed laws for genetically edited plants developed using new genomic techniques, but keeping in place stringent rules for genetically modified organisms, GMOs. So we've talked about this before, the difference between GMO and genetically edited. So editing is different from modifying, apparently. So
they are different in their eyes.
Their eyes.
To us, the consumers of the food, there's really not much of a difference. I know people are very passionate about pointing out the difference. Do not be fooled by them. The difference is negligible.
Yeah, I suppose with modification, the argument goes that you are introducing, foreign things in there that can change the molecular structure and all that stuff. With editing, it's more, hey, we're editing this tomato with that tomato. We're just making a tomato still. We're just,
changing
doing our own eugenics. It's more food eugenics than it is food enhancement or something. Or I don't know.
But if they're using CRISPR, CRISPR has already been shown to cause catastrophic
effects,
problems later on in the organisms.
And you better watch out. Yeah, you better watch out, Basil, because apparently CRISPR can also lower physical damage, such as bruising, at different stages of post-harvest handling. They're going to make these fruit more,
You won't know. You won't know if it's been damaged or not.
Managing damage is particularly important, especially during pack house operations, transport, and storage, which can decrease food loss and waste. Quote, however, such innovation can only help us build a more resilient food system if permitted by policies in place. And that's really the play here. They need policy. They need the green light from governments all over the world. And
notice how they don't need the permission of the people. Or their customers. They don't need the permission of anybody. We need the permission of politicians. Great.
Yeah. And especially if we're talking about tying it back to the app, the Yeswetrust app that we talked about a little earlier. The surveillance part of your biology, as being promoted as something good. Well, if you introduce something like CRISPR into the food system, then you really are talking about, all kinds of tracking going on. You got to keep track of what you're eating, how much you're eating, the nutrients involved and all that kind of stuff. And the thing that's kind of freaky to me about this is that I think they will have certain products that are more nutritious or taste better or something like that. Just think about anything that's artificial food,
Of course.
People eat it. It's artificial, but they eat it. This will be real, quote unquote, just, engineered, sort of eugenicized into a more appealing or more ideal state. Very interesting.
Yeah, they will. It needs to be a delicious domino effect before your genes start falling apart in your body and your skin starts dripping off because you didn't take your, you didn't take your injection that protects you from
your baby blood, blood injections.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there you go. Talk about God of fortresses too. You're talking about CRISPR becoming, helping fortify food. What God are they appealing to? The technology God? What is this new God?
Trust the tech.
Trust the tech. Trust the tech.
Trust the tech. Pay your dues and become rich and famous. That's what they're telling you.
Yeah.
All right, Guns. Well, I would say we only have one piece of art we really need to show because we showed Sir Dove's art already.
Yeah.
Top of the show. You want to
yes.
just show one piece of art and then we can save everything else for next episode?
Yeah, if that's okay. We have something from Pizza Rat here, so
this is great.
Art, please.
Also,
Yes.
Just to, I think maybe we need to reiterate. Pizza Rat sent us a bunch of great art, a lot of it. And so we're going to be spreading it out over some episodes here so to really savor it. I mean, that's the thing. You want to savor it.
We don't want to dump all 5 or 6 pieces of art that came in on one episode. We got to spread it out, man.
We want to savor it. So don't worry. We got it. We're spacing it out. This one's great, Pizza Rat. This is a Basil and Gon's, thumbnail duo art. This will show up on some episode art in the near future. And again, his style is so engaging. If I was in the corporate boardroom, that's what I'd say. It's so engaging. He's got that influence from sort of the punk rock zine days. And he's got sort of... a cartoon. So what do they call it? I think I had a buddy in animation, and he would talk to me about cartoon theory a lot. And it has to do with like how, if you're drawing a person, you're not necessarily trying to draw a photorealistic person, but you create the character by making them cartoonish,
Right, like caricature.
Kind of some cartoonish versions of us, which I like very much. Of course, we've got the I think it's black ink, and I'm guessing paint markers or something like that. But we've got on the left, we've got Basil. I'm looking kind of stubbly there. Got a great shape of my head, and wearing the VR goggles. Got the tape on the goggles is perfect. What is that? Do I have a little antenna sticking up? Yeah, got a little antenna.
Mm-hmm.
Got my hat and sort of mouth agape. And on the right, Gons, we got cool dad looking Gons. You're wearing a bucket hat. With
bucket hat.
The the Gen Zs, they're into the bucket hats again. So you've got a bucket hat with the prayer hands. You got your cool sunglasses on, very full, luscious looking beard. Now, if that's not a podcasting duo, then I don't know who is, Gons. That's great. Thank you, Pizza Rat.
Looking good. Thank you, Pizza Rat. Appreciate it. And yeah, we'll make sure to thank the rest of the producers who came in with their art on Monday, which will be a much more full show than we've been able to pull off this week.
Getting back to the full shows. We got the babysitter lined up for Mondays and Wednesdays right now.
Yeah.
The Fridays, we have some limits when it comes to budget and stuff. So Fridays will still be Kids Day as of now. But if you want to help us out, you can go to canarycrybabysittersclub.com. Sign up there. You're committing to helping us out with 1 hour of babysitting a month, and you'll receive the supply drop. Remember, go to canarycrybabysittersclub.com. Sign up there. It's a recurring $33 a month. That's a little over 1 hour of babysitting. And you'll get the supply drop, which is a bunch of cool stuff sent directly to you every quarter. We got a great supply drop coming up in March, I believe, because we got a little teaser. I'm not going to hype it too much right now, Gons, but Age of Deceit 4. Age of Deceit 4, you've been getting to work, my friend, with only a little bit of whip cracking needed. So keep that in mind, and you can go support the show at canarycray.support.
Yep.
Other than that, let's see. Got a couple, like I said, people giving of their time, getting involved, joining the team. I put the link to the form to request participation in the chat there. Maybe we should pop it into the show notes just in case. But people are giving of their time. They're getting involved, their abilities. They are becoming a part of the team. And one such group is the Timestampers.
Timestamp, it's hard work. Timestamp.
Wow. I heard things in that jingle that I've never noticed before. Thank you, new technology. Yes, the Timestampers, they timestamp the show. They do it sometimes live. The timestamps go into so much of our back-end processes. It's just an absolute blessing that the Timestampers give of their time in this degree, and it's very helpful. So, episode 702, Gons, who was the Timestamper?
Timestamps done by Morgan E. and Jade Bouncerson.
Oh, a doubly do again.
Yeah.
Thank you, 702 Morgan E. Jade Bouncerson.
Yep.
Other than that, thank you to all the producers who send links in at canarycry.report. If you have something you want us to take a look at, go to canarycry.report, send in links there. Thank you, Jam. Thank you to Clank for clanking. And other than that, just share the show, folks. Share it the easy way. Share it the hard way. No matter how you share it, share it. That's it. Period. Share it. But you don't have to do it. I mean, of course, you're posting it on your social media. Of course, you're texting it to friends. Of course, you're using it to wake up your coworkers and your family. But also, you can go ahead and build a tiny robot butler that is capable of watching after children and reading your face and sending off your biometrics to the government. You can do all that, but here's the thing. Remember, you need that robot to put on Canary Cry News Talk as often as possible. That should be the default setting. You take it out, you open up the box, you turn it on, and it just instantly starts playing Canary Cry News Talk. If you are the one in that department over at LG, Lucifer Goat, electronics company, give us an email. We'll send you the link to the RSS feed, and you can just pop that right into every robot babysitter. But for us, we're using human babysitters right now. But no matter how you share it, just share it. And we call it rattling cages. And all you got to do is walk right up to him, grab him by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted. I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right, just ask Noah. Guns, any last words?
Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for your patience as we try to figure out this new software, and hopefully we sounded okay. But
I think it was a good first run.
Yeah, not too bad.
We'll tighten things up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But hopefully, let us know if Rumble did not glitch a whole bunch. Let us know if it was a smooth stream. That we do need to know.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, thanks everybody for tuning in to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time, but until then, think outside the cage.
Peace out.
This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
Bye. I'm out of here. Bye.
I love the Great Reset.
I've ordered more pills than anyone in the world.
Toilets!
I love the Great Reset.
It will kill.
We will hunt you down and make you pay. This is the United States of America, for God's sake. This is not about freedom or personal choice.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
Value for value. We take no money from corporations, commies, or cartels.
Canary Cry support.
Razzle Dazzle, it's your best buddies Basil and Guns. Your favorite podcasters are at it again. Well, at least until the bunnies break free. Support value for value and think outside the cage with Canary Cry News Talk.
Are you tired of advertisers trying to make you an offer you cannot refuse? Then support value for value with your best buddies, Basil and Guns, and Canary Cry News Talk.
Because it takes years of specialized training to watch adorable samurai babies. Join the CCNT Babysitter Club today and support value for value.